Hey guys, just a quick heads up, you may hear a bit of background noise in this video. At the time of filming this, there was some high winds and it was raining. This mic is really good at picking up a lot of noise, so if you hear that throughout the video, I'm sorry. Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is the Sentinel watching over Geekdom, and welcome back to Sentinel Reviews. Once again, it is time to jump into the Doctor and Charley arc, and today we will be veering away from the main range stories and going to the bonus story, Return of the Krotons. Originally released as a subscription bonus with the Rain Cloud Man, the next story in the arc, in December of 2008, and then released individually in December of 2009. The Rain Cloud Man was written and directed by Nicholas Briggs, stars Colin Baker as the Doctor, India Fisher as Charlie Pollard, and features Philip Maddock and Nicholas Briggs as the Krotons. Now that I think about it, this is the first Nicholas Briggs story I've talked about on my channel, outside of just mentioning them in unboxings, but unlike all the other Big Finish writers, regularly recurring writers we see, Nicholas Briggs, where their quality is fairly consistent, Nicholas Briggs is a bit of a wild card. If you listen to a Nicholas Briggs story, you never know what you're gonna get. And that's not always a good thing. Usually his stories are either really experimental, really out there, really sort of wild in terms of concepts and such, or they're kind of fan-wanky, but not as bad as Gary Russell fan-wanky. They're pretty average, or they're really, really bad. Like, oh boy. You think Hellbent is bad, you should listen to Doctor Who Unbound Exile. It is the worst thing I've ever heard. And, as far as Nicholas Briggs as a writer goes, my favorite Nicholas Briggs story is, I just blanked on the name, Beneath the Viscoid from the War Master Series 1. Though I do also really like Light at the End. No, it's Beneath the Viscoid. Although a lot of other people say Creatures of Beauty is really good, I just haven't heard it. Anyway, and I find this is one of his middle-of-the-road stories. It's okay. I wouldn't call it anything standout, though. And again, Return of the Krotons, it's a little bit fan-wanky, because this story heavily relies on the Krotons, a Patrick Troughton story that I haven't seen. Although, just another fact, since I was talking about writers for a little bit there, it was Robert Holmes' first story for Doctor Who. This story also features Philip Maddock, who was in the Krotons. He was also in The Brain of Morbius. I think he was in one other story, and he was in The War Games, Patrick Troughton's final story, where he played the Warlord. So the story itself, where do I want to start with this? The pacing, because this was a bonus release, so this story's only an hour long. And it's very quick-paced, it's very energetic, but sometimes too much so. Like, events happen really fast. Like, it feels like Nicholas Briggs knew this story had to be an hour long, so a lot of times it feels like he made things happen as quick as possible to move the story along, and it doesn't always work. Like, there are, I think, maybe 5 or 6 characters in this story, and none of them get any real introduction. None of them really develop all that well. None of them are very interesting. And, like, for example, the secondary antagonist of this story, who's played by Philip Maddock, he's sort of played as this greedy corporate CEO type. And then at the end of his role in the story, they try to do something really sort of humanizing with him, like a sort of a what have I done kind of moment. And it doesn't work because it feels like it came too late in the story. And again, it just happened so fast. But although for the character he was, and everything leading up to that moment, he was a really good character. He was imposing, and you got a sense of this is a man you don't want to cross. And the Krotons themselves, again, having not seen the Krotons, they were really unimpressive. It's, and it's a bit of a shame because Nicholas Briggs actually is a good actor. You can tell usually when he plays creatures that he is giving it his all, whether it be in editing the effects or voicing the creatures themselves, or even in some of his non-creature work. You can tell, like Sherlock Holmes, you can tell he's a good actor. And I don't know if it's because of what the Krotons are, or because of how this story is written, but it is such a disservice to his skill as an actor. And although, full disclosure, I don't know if having watched the Krotons would improve or lessen my opinion, or would change my opinion at all of this story and these creatures. There's a lot of interesting concepts to though, like they are a crystalline alien and they use human beings as batteries. They use their mental powers to build and power their technology. That's a really interesting concept. Colin Baker and India Fisher are again in top form here, and we continue to see the dynamic between Charlie and this Doctor change and evolve. Here, Charlie is a little more outgoing. She's a little more brusque. She's a little more daring. She dares to put in a little more playful jabs at the Doctor. She's not worried about this mystery of who she is. She's less worried about it than she probably would be. She's getting comfortable with this Doctor is the point I'm trying to get to. Like I said, the other side characters were just mostly there. They didn't get a lot to do, a lot to work with. So they did, unfortunately, suffer. Although there was one, he was sort of a technician. I'm forgetting his name, sorry. But, it's and really everything that happens regarding him in this story is because he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Which is unfortunate, but, he was quirky, he was fun. The other two major side characters were really unimpressive. But Return of the Krotons is fine. Like I said, it's a very straightforward, but it does ultimately fall flat in a lot of fronts. I'd probably put it somewhere average, below average, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. So join me next week when we will look at the Rain Cloud Man. No tease or build up to it. I haven't started it yet. But those were my thoughts on Return of the Krotons. What were yours? Start a conversation in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Click the bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload. In the description box below this video, you'll find the link to my Ko-fi, where you could support the channel, and you'll find the link to my Twitter, where you can follow me and get updates on the channel. This is the Sentinel, watching over geekdom, and I'll see you guys next time.